Good evening, everyone. Allarku vanakkam. In koncha koncha Tamil varum. Manninchidunga if I speak wrong Tamil. But I would like to start my talk with a quote by Nelson Mandela. It says, "The glory of living lies in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." That's so true. Think about it. Life is a journey. There are different roads that we take, different turns that we take. Sometimes it feels beautiful. You feel like driving on outer ring road where there's a lot of nice breeze and the roads are smooth. But sometimes it's a rough ride. What do we do then? We are walking on these roads and sometimes we come across obstacles and we fall down. Why do we fall down? Compare it to the situations in life. It could be somebody's ambitions. It could be somebody's health, disability, family issues, education. These are different circumstances that we face. But does the world really stop us? That's the question, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. Let's come back to the point where we fell. We are wounded, we are on the road, and there's nobody around us. What do? Most people, you think about it and you're like, okay, this situation happened. I personally, from my life, I feel there are two choices that we have when we fall. One is to sit there, cry over our wound, saying, why this happened to me? The question, why me, always comes and, it kind of provokes us. Why me? But the answer to that we may receive or we may not. But the other choice that we have, which is quite a difficult one, is to get up, walk ahead despite the wound. I, in my personal life, have chosen the second road always because I didn't find my future when I sat down and cried. I do cry, I'm a human. But then I've learned to walk ahead. Because what happens despite the pain when you walk on those roads, and after some time when you look back at those beautiful, the journey that you have done despite the pain, you'll be surprised that you walked so long. That will be a motivating factor for you to walk ahead. Because we cannot give up. What happens if we give up? Think about it. Education, you are aspiring to be something and you give up. You did not do well in your course. Do we give up or do we continue with it again? We have a disability. If I was crying, I have vision impairment, and I was just a 19-year-old girl sitting back at home and crying, today I wouldn't be here talking and sharing what I feel. This is the difference it makes when you don't stop, because the world never stops you. From my own experiences, I remember after losing I'll go back to 90s. In 2000, I lost my mother to cancer. In 2004, I lost my dad to the same illness again. I was sighted, I was all fine then. These were the two big blows in my life. In 2008, I was pursuing my filmmaking, and that's when the big event happened. I was diagnosed with the brain tumor. Within 1 month, I lost my eyesight, hearing, smell, taste. I had paralysis on my right limbs. And to top it all, the doctor said I may not survive more than 3 months. This was the stage I was at. I was angry. I asked, why me? Trust me, and I don't have an answer, why me? But then I thought, it could be Shah Rukh Khan's Kal Ho Na Ho. Yeah, it is Kal Ho Na Ho. I decided life is giving me just 3 months. Now let me take this road and walk ahead. We'll see what will happen, what this life will bring me up to. Because I made that decision that day, I went and I achieved what I wanted to. I remember after recuperating, when I went to employers for getting a job, they said, we don't have accommodations here because you're blind. Today, I conduct employer awareness programs where I make corporate companies aware of how they can be inclusive for people with disabilities. When it comes to simple accessibility, I go to Facebook and then I find there's no alternate description to images. So I make sure I torture my friends, podpa, alternate text pod. That is what I tell them. Then I work with a friend to make physical infrastructure accessible for people with visual impairment. I'm here, I have my lovely friends describing to me what's around, but with this technology, we are able to describe what's the location around. Third, I gave up my filmmaking, but today, with the support of LV Prasad Eye Institute, where I work as a counselor, I'm able to direct videos for my department. I write the script. People ask me, how do you direct videos as someone with visual impairment? I just say I have the wordings like, close-up shot, mid-shot. This is the terminology I use. Then the actors, what do I tell them? Okay, you got a smile. If you want to imagine the smile should be like you're eating biryani. That's how the smile should be. Or you're going for a date and with your first love. That's how your smile should be. It's as simple as that. Fourth, I'm an artist with visual impairment. I create 3D art. When I went to, I remember going to, I used to pencil sketch. In 2018, when I went to an art gallery, I realized paintings were not accessible. That is when I thought of creating 3D paintings that visually impaired can touch. I remember showing it to a person with vision impairment who has never seen paintings. When they touched it, they broke down because they said, I never knew paintings are like this. So I'm not bragging about what I did or what I have not done, but it's just that because I didn't give up, I did not stop. If I had stopped, that would have been the end. I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be what I am doing. Yes, we live a life today, it's not like, okay, just because I have made that decision to go forward, I don't face challenges today. I do face challenges. The threat of the tumor is still lingering, but I take one day at a time. I learn from my past experiences, and I don't think about future. People ask, what do you aspire? How do you see, where do you see 10 years from now? I said, let me live for the day, and I'll think about tomorrow later. This is a beautiful lesson I have learned. And I know many are here, okay, I'm going to go back. What if I face a challenge? It's okay. It's perfectly okay if you're facing a challenge because it's part of life. There are goods, there are bads, there are ups, there are downs. The choice is ours, what we make of it. The world will not say, no, you cannot do this. There may be obstacles in some manner or the other, but it's all in you. In you that you decide and you make that choice whether to go ahead or not. On that note, I would like to conclude and leave you all with, because giving up is not what we want to do. And I would like to conclude with, actually it's a Bollywood dialogue. I'll like to say that in Tamil. Picture no mudille thambi. Thank you so much.
I have retained Chinmayi on stage and Kamakshi Pati is joining us to present mementos on behalf of Zoho Aura Speaks, an initiative of Able Aura, to our first speaker of the day. Our first speaker of the day is a rehabilitation counselor. She's a 3D artist. She's a filmmaker. And hers is a journey that exhibits every aspect of breaking any barrier by a person with disabilities to serve as an inspiration to so many. I would like to welcome to join us here the inimitable Aishwarya Pillai. May I have a beautiful painting from the Ray Foundation and a certificate of being a part of the Able Aura family by being a speaker here for Aishwarya, to be presented by Chinmayi Sripada and Kamakshi Pati. Can you give it to them, please? One each. Every speaker here today has been selected by shortlisted by a jury of 4. We were overwhelmed by applications to speak here. And it was very difficult for our jury to actually whittle down to the ones whom we are going to be hearing today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamakshi Pati, and thank you, Chinmayi. Oh, that's sweet. Pati, you want to talk?
I never think of my age. சொல்றதே கிடையாது. And I always say, I don't want to leave the world in a hurry.
Oh! Thank you so much, Chinmayi.
James, the son of Samuel, was a visually impaired young and bright student, extremely passionate about literature and storytelling. He dreamt of being a writer one day. While his father Samuel worked hard at their family shop to keep his son's dream alive, his teachers back at school loved and inspired him for his amazing storytelling skills. His teachers knew James wanted to be a writer, an author. One fine day, Samuel visited his friend Rajan and expressed how helpless he felt as a father to not be able to afford for his son's educational requirements. Rajan comforted Samuel and said he will see what he can do. The next day, as James returned from college, his father and his father's friend Rajan were talking about Make a Wish campaign by Able Aura to arrange for his Braille typewriter, which would help him practice and sharpen his writing skills. Rajan came to know about Make a Wish campaign from his company's manager, who is a great gentleman and has been donating via Give a Wish campaign for the welfare of persons with disabilities in need. Samuel immediately completed the process of Make a Wish with the assistance of his friend Rajan and finally received his Braille typewriter within a few days. There are thousands like James who needs your support and care. Help a dream walk a step ahead with Give a Wish campaign. Donate for an inclusive and equal world. Give a Wish campaign. Impact now.